Welcome to tutorial number 2, guys. I'm going to basically be showing you the fundamentals about different types of objects, what you can do with text, a box, a circle, ellipse, polygons, hexagons, anything like that. As I showed you in the previous tutorial with the Bezier curves, you can edit them to whatever you want. Okay, we're going to start with a clean document. Like I showed you last time, we've got the freehand tool, which is as before, what I showed you. It's freehand, you can draw lines. The other tools that are very useful is your rectangles. So you can just drag and drop a rectangle. If you want a perfectly square, hold the control down and drag the mouse button. Gives you a perfectly square all the way around. With these objects, if you click it just once in Corel, you can move it around by holding the control per angle, so you can get what would be used for a road sign, actually, to be honest. You can do that. You can obviously stretch them proportionally by holding the shift on there, or without the shift it'll still do it proportionally. You can stretch them, shrink it. Doesn't matter how you want. You can add colors obviously to that because it's a finished object. The lines are finished, so all the nodes have been joined up, so you can add and change that. Okay, now previously I showed you where you can double click on a line and you can edit nodes. As you can see now with the square, and the same goes with circles. If you draw a circle, you can't actually edit it if you click it. You can only just twist it, turn it, slant it. That's really about all you can do. What you need to do if you want to edit those files and edit nodes along those things, the line itself. So you can see we've got quadrants right now. That's what it is when it's in a shape. What you need to do in Corel is go to Arrange, and you'll see Convert to Curves. Now double click it. Now you can start playing with that object a little bit more. And we've got a really random looking smiley face there. But anyway, obviously converting to curve gives you a lot more freedom of expression. The shortcut for that in Corel Draw is Control Q. So with the box, now we convert it to a curve. You can mess around, and as before in the last tutorial, you can add nodes. Same thing as what I didn't show you in the last tutorial. When you add a node, you can also just double click it to delete it. So you got quite a nice amount of things you can do. Now you've got also the polygon tool. If you click it once, you've just got a polygon. Click and hold it, gives you a few options. You get a star, a complex star. Star obviously is your normal one if you're into that, but anyway, you can do that. Get a complex star, which gives you sort of a Star of David if you put it down to 6 points. Perfect. You can also go graph paper, spiral. Graph paper never really used unless you really go into that kind of stuff. Spiral, simple spiral. Note as well, like I just did there. Drag from one point, you see it ends there. Drag it the other way, it'll finish there. Okay, look, lots of it is very practical. You'll get into it a lot easier if you just play around with the tools. I'm not going to joke, that's actually how I learned most of Corel Draw, is actually playing with it. You get other options like this, the basic shapes, arrow shapes, flowcharts, banners. Banners are quite nice if you've got like an image. Let's say we took a screenshot quickly, and I can't take a screenshot. Anyway, if you want to put in a banner like that, got a few options up here. Perfect shapes, so you can see a few different like little callouts, so to speak. Okay, so that's the banners. Callout shapes is speech bubble. So if you've got like something that you want to pop a speech bubble out of, or an image, or anything like that, there you can do. You can add a color obviously to it, depending. That pretty much explains your basic tools. There's obviously your text tool, very important. Click on the screen anywhere, you can start typing. that now is what you considered a not okay. You get two types of text. Most guys will go and drag it in. You get a whole text box. That's now what you call paragraph text. You can convert that. Like this here is now a paragraph. You can turn it to artistic text, which has no boundary box around it, so you can play with it, edit it. Doesn't matter what you want to do with it. Obviously, your fonts. Doesn't matter what fonts you want. They're all here. You can add your own stuff as per usual. Windows methods. At the moment, I've got about 4,000 installed, so quite a bit. Being a graphic designer, it's useful to have lots of fonts. Okay, that's pretty much basically the basic shapes. These other ones will actually go into. These are more fulls. Yeah, the table tool, quite useful as well. You can add text into each one of the boxes. You can obviously select all of those, change the font size. You can change your font in between each table cell. There's endless possibilities with CorelDRAW. As I say, try it, buy it if you like it. It's worth it. Take my word for it. It really is a superb piece of software. I think, unless my PC decides to freeze when I was trying to load up all my 5,000 fonts, I think I've covered most of it. You get your squares, your circles, spirals, extra shapes there, your polygons are in there. When you do select polygons, polygons, there we are. Up here gives you options for that polygon, so you can add a few more. As you can see, it's giving you a lot more nodes to play with, so when that is converted to curve, you can start playing with it and get some very interesting sort of designs. Like, I'm going to try quickly, just randomly actually make a sort of a biohazard, I think, almost. See, I didn't put enough nodes, so and then you can, well, actually it's like a Celtic cross. Anyway, there's lots of things you can do. As I say, play around with the application. The more you play with it, the more you're going to learn. Believe me. And you'll get into a lot of these things as you go along. The range is obviously your basic things. I think I've pretty much covered most of the straightforward background behind line art. It's basically based on shapes, Bezier curves, manipulated objects, basically. So you have a lot of freedom of expression. You'll get used to the shortcuts. I will be using them very often. I'll try to refer back to the shortcuts, like F6 is your square, F7 is your circle, F5 from the last one is your Bezier, F8 is your text. Actually, I don't know what the callout object is. We'll get into those shortcuts later. Yep, I think I've pretty much shown you your basic objects, the fundamentals behind it, pretty much. Yeah, let's move on to the next tutorial. Thank you. Goodbye.